we've made it to episode fucking 5. DEGREELESSNESS.
Wow.
The podcast, Bobby Bao, Shanghai Pete. Again, it's, of course, a beautiful sunny day in Los Angeles, because it always is. I mean, the last time it rained was like a year and a half ago, I think. So it's gorgeous here. Bobby, how's it over in Poland on the other fucking side of the planet?
Really, really nice. I mean, it was beautiful, like definitely in the 70s and sunny today. I mean, The beauty of it here is that in the evenings, it gets down into the low 60s. And during the day, it's like mid 70s. I just crushed, as usual, a black, but I've switched over to black sugar-free energy.
Oh, healthy Bobby.
It is actually amazing. I usually hate sugar-free energy drinks, but this does not taste like sweetener and isn't awful. And it still has 100% of the skull-clawing effectiveness. So I've got a nice little glass of red wine here to really class the event up.
Oh, my. How
Things
sophisticated.
are good in the land of pierogi and kielbasa. And oh boy, do I have news.
Yeah? Lay it on me, Bobby.
Well, are you aware of Bloodstained Ritual of the Night?
I feel.
You heard of this?
I feel like I have, but but I have so little information on it, it's irrelevant. So I might as well just say no. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Well, I had not heard about it, amazingly, and I happened upon it today.
It makes me think about Castlevania.
Well, it should, because it's the upcoming game by Koji Igarashi, the guy responsible for Symphony of the Night, Circle of the Moon, Dawn of Sorrow, Aria of Sorrow, all the best Metroidvania-style Castlevanias, the guy who created Metroidvania, who left Konami, and kickstarted this game because he couldn't secure funding because too many publishers were like, oh, people in the West don't want a weird game like
Oh, yeah,
Japanese.
This has been on Kickstarter for a while.
5.5 mil. Apparently, since in 2015, they made 5.5 mil. I happened to find out about it today, and it's coming out later this year. Unfortunately, it's 2.5D, so unfortunately, it is 3D graphics on a 2D plane, but it is straight up like Aria of Sorrow style, absorb enemy abilities, Metroidvania. It is, it looks fantastic. And because it made so much money, as a bonus, today was released Bloodstained Curse of the Moon.
What is
which
that?
Is Bloodstained Curse of the Moon was made by another developer as like a side project relating to this game. And while it has some of the similar characters, enemies, etc. So while Ritual of the Night is a full-on Metroidvania, like full-ass game, this is a Castlevania 3 tribute in full NES graphics, where you can change as you could change between, I think it was 4 characters in Castlevania 3. I believe it was Trevor, Sipha Belnades, Alucard, and what was the last dude's name? Grant Dynasty or something, and he was like the little pirate guy.
I don't remember.
And in this,
you're much more of a Castlevania aficionado than I am.
You can. So this is an NES-style game, and you can also switch between 4 characters. Oh my god, I highly recommend you just pop open a screenshot. It's on Steam. It's on every platform as far as I know today. Released today for $10. It looks incredible. Controller, I already would have bought it. Oh my god, I don't even want to look at any more of the gameplay or screenshots because it looks so freaking awesome. I want to be like shocked by it. You've got Vampire Hunter.
Yeah, dude, I've been following this motherfucker on Kickstarter for a while,
dude. Yeah. So it's.
Are you aware that it has its own subgenre now, apparently called Igavania?
Oh, I mean that's fantastic.
A noun, which means a gothic exploration-focused action platformer designed by one of the godfathers of the genre, Koji Igarashi.
Yeah, who's a freaking amazing
Oh my god, dude, it's come so far. The art is just.
I mean, look, Ritual of the Moon looks absolutely amazing. I mean, it is a Castlevania game. It is. Konami
clearly
is like really. I mean, Konami is. I don't even know. There's got to be a word for someone who's fallen from grace from a company that I loved and respected so much to something that I just loathe and am so ashamed of for their abandonment. The fact that did they fire Kojima or did he leave because they were such assholes?
I
think they fired him.
I feel like they fired him, but again, it would also not surprise me if, like the rest of that entire story and everything surrounding his departure, if it's just still shrouded in mystery and no one actually really knows what
canceled
really
Silent
happened.
Hills. The fact they canceled Silent Hills.
I still have
and he left.
PT on my fucking PS4, thank God.
That's insane. I don't even know. I thought it was like disabled.
It was disabled, meaning you could no longer download it, but like I can still fire it up and play it.
That's insane. PT is so freaking good.
Oh my God.
So the PT short for playable teaser, which was the very, very short but incredibly scary and atmospheric psycho horror.
God, what a great word.
Basically tech demo for Silent Hills, which had nothing to do with the main Silent Hills. It was a completely standalone story. It absolutely so incredible. I straight up screamed multiple times playing that game. Screamed, like freaked out, scared the crap out of me. It was just so atmospheric and creepy and dark with awesome graphics. First person, which I did not think was going to be good for a horror game. So awesome. So, fuck Konami. I mean, look at this garbage they did with Metal Gear. They had that Metal Gear game, like.
Oh my God, Metal Gear Survive. Holy fuck. What a completely blatant and obvious fucking attempt to just drag and dredge up any tiny little bit of remaining money from the awful desiccated corpse of Metal Gear. It's so, it's like so transparent, so fucking awful.
It's like Weekend at Snakey's.
God.
You know, they've got the fucking sunglasses on him. They tied a string to his hand so he can wave around and do CQC, but he's still fucking dead and gone.
That is an elegant metaphor, I will say.
Yeah.
Oh God. I mean, it's like I like they should be embarrassed. I mean, obviously, whatever fucking hideous spirit still remains and animates the fucking long dead husk of Konami, I'm sure has absolutely no shame. But if it did, I would imagine that it would be fucking mortified.
No, it's horrifying. I mean, you know, I'm still salty about the way that Kojima himself finished out MGS5 story, but because I still feel that we've discussed this before.
Well, one,
but
I'm salty about that, and two, I will never forgive him for recasting fucking David Hayter. I will never forgive him for doing that.
That made really. I mean, Kiefer did a great job, but
he did. This is not. That's not a knock on Kiefer. Kiefer's fantastic. He did a great job. As well as anyone who's not David Hayter realistically probably could have.
Why would you do that? Why would you? Again, I always thought that they did that because I was like, look, this is going to happen where the story will go where I wanted it to go, and everything will close for full circle because the game will end with you meeting Solid Snake in Outer Heaven and him killing you, which brings it full circle back to MGS1.
And he would have the voice of David Hayter. Yes, exactly. Yes. Like that would have justified
everything full circle. That would have been the greatest finale, and instead they pulled the bullshit that they did, which I think. I mean, again, I didn't finish it, and I regret it. And
I didn't finish it either. I didn't finish it either. Every other Metal Gear Solid game I have played hundreds of times.
The gameplay is rad. It's fucking incredible. But the open world and like you're still going back to the desert every single time. It's not that like linear speedrun mania of every MGS game prior to that.
I'm tired of the brown and the jeeps and just. You know, it's man, as well done as it was, and as great as the gameplay legitimately is, I just there comes a point. I have a maximum amount of brown desert open world genericness that I can tolerate. And that game, despite being a well-crafted Metal Gear game, that game really just pushed it past the point. And then once I heard how much of a letdown the ending was, I mean, that pretty much destroyed any remaining incentive that I had to go see the ending of it, you know? And I feel bad about it to this day, but it is what it is.
I watched a video the other day that I happened upon somehow that was like, I don't know if it's Quiet, you know, Quiet, like the sniper baby girl. Yeah. And I watched, there was some intro sequence. It was an FMV of her, like, getting beat up and, like, you know, attacked and almost raped by some soldiers, and then she fucking goes like Super Saiyan on them, and it is so unbelievably, and it immediately, basically, she has, you know, like other MGS characters, her supernatural powers come out, and she goes completely apeshit, and the way she murders these dudes is so unbelievably ultra violent. It's
Yeah.
spectacular. The choreography, the music, it was straight up Kojima chills. And I was like, I really need to finish that, because if that's what I missed, there's a lot of this game I need to see.
I feel like
It
that
was
too.
just so incredible. I mean, this FMV was so bananas. I mean, I put a lot of time into it, but like I'll definitely go back and
Me too.
and
Remember
finish
when
it.
you were playing Ground Zeroes on the PS3 back in the day? Oh my god,
well,
you
that-
grinded the
that
shit out of that. I couldn't
Pretty
believe how much
sure
you played
I
that.
came close to 100% on that, because
yeah.
I got all the XOF patches. I got all the shit. Yeah, dude. Well, that game was another story. First of all, it wasn't brown. Second of all, the really
That's
the
true.
fact that the fact that, I mean, both those games really emphasize emergent gameplay, where you can you find so many different ways to accomplish a task. Plus, it was this teeny tiny little arena that was just like hyper customized to be the ultimate Metal Gear experience,
it was
as
so
opposed
well
to like
designed.
ride the horse half a mile.
Ride the horse, dude.
Like,
I'm sorry, I don't
fucking-
want to ride a horse, man. I really don't.
It's like, it's cool. Like, everything about it's cool, but it's just like, oh man, like,
I don't know if I want people always asking me about MGS5. You know?
I know, right?
Like,
I'm like,
come
oh
on.
man. Like, I gotta finish it at some point, just because like I gotta finish every core.
Yeah, regardless
Metal
of
Gear game.
exactly. Regardless of the circumstances surrounding any of it, all that aside, there is a part of me that just will feel eternally guilty if I leave any Metal Gear Solid game unfinished.
Yeah.
So, I mean-
well, I didn't finish Peace Walker either.
Peace Walker doesn't count.
Ice Walker.
Shane Pice Walker, no shit.
Well,
I mean,
listen,
I know people
no,
will
Peace
hate.
Walker was
There will be
cool.
a lot of people that will absolutely hate the fact that we said that. But like, let's get real. I know it's a very good game. I don't argue with that. But at the same
is.
time, it's kind of, it's a little
It's
bit,
cool,
it's a little bit Pice
but it's
Walker,
like-
dude. I mean,
it's
it was a
so
portable
similar to
game to begin with.
5.
It doesn't count.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, I mean, it's these tiny little mini missions, and MGS is so story heavy, and both of those games, while I know that both of them have a shitload of story. First of all, let's not forget that Peace Walker's story is told in like visual novel style, not in
Which is really cool
FMVs.
in a lot of ways,
Cool.
but in a lot of other ways.
not why I fuck with Metal Gear.
Exactly.
It's not why I fuck with Metal Gear. So, like, bro, I don't know. I mean, like, anyway, Konami, like, fuck
I just
Konami.
don't-
You alienate both these dudes, like, fuck you, Iga and Kojima. Like, you fuck
Yeah,
both
get
of
the
them. You had
fuck
Guillermo
out
del
of here.
Toro. Fuck off, Konami. Like, have they done anything I give a shit about since then?
No. Not even a
Anything?
little. Not even a little. No. I mean, they made some pachinko machines and told you to go fuck yourself a couple years ago, and I think that's the last we heard of them, really.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I would totally go chain smoke and play some pachinko in Japan. Like, no doubt.
Yeah,
bro.
but we would do that regardless of whether or not Konami had anything to do with it.
Yeah, it'd be like
Probably it would be
wasted.
more likely that we would go
Walk to
do that
pachinko
if
bar.
Konami was not involved. So.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I mean, if we were wasted in Tokyo and we were wandering by this giant pachinko parlor and they had 2 Castlevania machines
Oh, shit,
right
never
up
mind.
front,
Okay,
we'd be
yeah,
like, yo,
alright.
let's drop some
Alright,
yen in
yeah.
there and walk out of there with a tub full of pachinko balls and piss everyone in the room off. Like,
Yeah.
oh, these
Go try
loud
to drink
Americans
until
have
we
got to
black out
go.
in an alley somewhere.
Fucking Bakayaro Gaijin.
All right, so in summary, fuck Konami, Bloodstained Ritual of the Night, and its companion game
Ritual of the Night.
looks fucking phenomenal.
Bloodstained Curse of the Moon. Bloodstained Curse of the Moon, available today on, I believe, all platforms, definitely on Steam, $10. Seriously, if I had a controller, I would already have it. Like, it looks beyond hot.
I know, I'm looking at it.
It's
Holy
it's
shit.
on my, wait, I added it to my fucking wish list. Why isn't it on? What? Oops, sorry. Fuck right off. My Steam wish list is growing massively because I'm just prepping for the summer sale
Good.
where
It's a
I'm
good thing
gonna
to do.
really pack it on.
Okay, so moving on. I don't want to get too into the weeds again on this because God knows, especially judging from our last episode, we certainly can. I could easily rant for another couple hours about Nintendo and their fucking online service.
Oh
But-
God. Is there some new news about this?
No, it's funny that I'm going to say, fortunately, there's no additional news because it's just, it would just be assumed that it would most likely be bad. But, I mean, this post, I stumbled upon this Reddit post by user Sesto, and on the official on Nintendo Switch subreddit, and it's been floating around, so it's highly possible that a lot of you have seen this already, but this just so perfectly encapsulates how, and as this user puts it, how Nintendo is their own fucking worst enemy. And even in the midst of doing so much great and undeniably amazing shit, they still manage to, at the same time, do the most backwards, unjustifiable, anti-consumer rubbish that I can even fucking comprehend. And because their online options, even as they exist now, have always been just anemic at best, I've never even really played anything. No Nintendo game ever have I played online in any capacity. Have you, Bobby? Have you ever played any Nintendo game online?
Yes.
Don't say Nintendogs.
That one did not have online play, unless I'm mistaken.
Oh, I thought it had some stupid DS to DS crap.
I believe that was before Nintendo Wi-Fi Connect. What was was that the very first Nintendo Wi-Fi Connect game?
I feel like it might have been, dude. But either way,
well, hold on.
Now we need to know.
We need a quick trip down discussion lane. Nintendo Wi-Fi Connect. Oh, it's Nintendo Wi-Fi Connection. Okay. God, you're the worst.
You're the absolute worst.
Hey, we've got friend codes. Isn't that swell? Okay.
Look at me, I traveled back to 1999. Which probably isn't even far enough back, because we were rocking shit on D-Wango back then, and D-Wango did not require a friend code, that's for fucking sure.
Okay, the first Nintendo Wi-Fi connection games were Mario Kart DS and Tony Hawk's American Skateland, followed by Animal Crossing Wild World right after that. So, no, it was not Nintendogs. Anyway.
Okay, good. Well, fuck that anyway.
Have I played Nintendo games online? Yes, I definitely tried playing some original DS games online. Let's see, what did I play online? I played... Am I right that Meteos had... I
remember Meteos. That actually wasn't bad.
I definitely used... there was an online feature in Castlevania Portrait of Ruin, which I used to rack up some serious coinage, and then you could go into people's online shops, and people would have occasionally super OP weapons, and so I bought it and broke the game, which I thought was a really dumb feature, but at the time I loved it, so I could fly through the game.
Yeah.
Which was, what was that? Charlotte. Jonathan. Charlotte. Jonathan. So did Meteos have online
I don't
play
even remember.
Nintendo Wi-Fi
This
Connect?
is kind of, again, like beside the point. Like, if you're all right, anything a little more modern than some ancient Castlevania DS games.
Like I played
any Splatoon, any
Smash
Mario
Brothers.
Kart.
I played Smash Brothers 3DS online for sure.
Okay, well, and what was your experience of it? Was it?
It was laggy.
I mean, overall, was it acceptable? Was it shite?
No. I mean, was it acceptable for a Nintendo Wi-Fi service? Yeah. But with something like Mario Kart also I think I did Mario Kart 8 online. And the issue is that the lag was such at launch, which I heard they improved. The lag was such that when you're playing a Twitch game like that, you're halfway through the course and then you realize you're lagging, and then I forget if like everything reset or like you were off the course, or you just can't do it, and all of a sudden you're beaten by somebody from Singapore with a fucking T1 line.
So your experience, would it be fair to say your experience has not been overwhelmingly positive?
No, I mean I have never played a Nintendo online game that I can recall where I was like, this is the way to go. This is the way to fucking play. This game is nothing without its online component. Like, I gotta play this online, as opposed to something like playing a PS4 or an Xbone, or even of course on a PC, I would expect the online experience to be seamless. With Nintendo, exactly. I expect it to be a hassle.
Exactly. Like, and that's really the point, right?
Well, it is. I want to know what the purpose is of not having a friends list where I can't just type in my friend's username and they accept, and I can see what they're playing and add them to my game and like do all that shit, send them messages.
I think the general assumption is that all of this stuff, all the seemingly anti-consumer shit that Nintendo does, especially on the part of their online anything, is mostly to try to protect kids. Which
I agree, 100%.
Which I mean is, that's certainly a well-intended goal. You know, there's nothing wrong with that, right? But at the same time, you gotta, I mean, and this could open up the doors to a much larger discussion. I don't really want to do that, but I just, suffice to say, I feel like at some point, like, you gotta let parents be parents and let your online system be an online system, right? I mean, like, at how much do we really need Nintendo going around babysitting our children and holding everybody's hand? I mean, I understand they want to remain kid-friendly, but, like, at what point are you so kid-friendly that you're now alienating adults? And as we all know, the majority of gamers is, like, in their mid-30s. That's the biggest market. I mean, I don't know how Nintendo's is compared to that, but I would imagine it's comparable.
I have to stop you and say that I don't think that is necessarily an accurate statement. That the majority of gamers are in their mid-30s. I think that the 18 to 35 market in general is still the biggest. And I say that because I think that there are way too many kids talking about how you fucked your mom to possibly say that. That statement would suggest that new gamers are not occurring as fast as gamers are growing up, and I don't think that's the case. I think that new gamers are growing tremendously, and I think the 18 to 35 male market is still the biggest in general, and that covers the whole gamut of 18 to 35.
I'm looking up statistics right now, dude, and unfortunately,
Fortnite.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, unfortunately, as with anything involving something resembling actual facts in 2018, I'm finding like 100 different charts to prove anybody's point of view on this, no matter what it is. But regardless, suffice to say, I feel like it's a reasonable request of Nintendo that they not behave like we're all 5-year-olds. You know, I feel like that's at least kind of reasonable, right? So, but again, I don't really want to get into a whole fucking discussion about, you know, where a parent's duty to, you know, censor what their kids are exposed to ends, and whether or not Nintendo should be interceding on their behalf in order to, you know, whatever.
Right. Wait, can you hear me? I'm like,
yeah,
you're getting choppy.
No, you're fine. Are you good?
Yeah, wait, can you hear me?
Yeah,
you're getting real choppy.
You sound fine to me.
Can you?
I hear you.
No.
I hear you perfectly. 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 I hear you perfectly.
Yo, you're getting soup.
Oh God.
Yo.
Is this better?
Oh, much better. Great.
Okay, awesome. All right, so...
Yeah, my Wi-Fi bit the dust. Okay, some slight technical difficulties.
Yeah, so anyway...
Yes, no, I heard what you were saying, though.
Okay. So, basically, yeah, in summary, what I'm saying is that I don't wish to really get into it, but I feel like there's a point at which Nintendo should let parents kind of handle what their kids are exposed to a little bit. And I think that point is specifically where their efforts to, you know, kind of be parents for all these kids that might be playing on their system begins to negatively affect their online system offerings. And I feel like that we are clearly at and well past that point. So,
I mean, I just don't fucking get it. It's like your kids are... like, they are on Pornhub. They're looking at fucking, like, crazy-ass video games all the time. You know, they're
They're on Grand Theft Auto fucking 5.
They're on Grand Theft Auto 5, you know. It's like I fail to... Nintendo, it is not your job. Or just build a password protect, build a parent lock into it, build a password protect, make it so you need a credit card to sign on. Anything, anything.
What's even more mind-boggling is that, from what I hear, the parental controls on the Switch work pretty fucking well. So I don't know. I don't know what they're thinking, and no matter how noble you might feel that the aim of protecting children online is, again, I think when their desire to do that supersedes their desire to have a good and enjoyable online experience for their entire user base, I think that's the point where we need to kind of take a step back and be like, what the fuck are you thinking?
Yeah,
right?
Because people would always, oh, you know what? This reminds me. The game that I may have played the absolute most online of a Nintendo system was Tetris DS, and that was good. And I remember this because I changed my DS name to something incredibly vulgar so that
of course he did.
though I couldn't send custom messages, I could shit talk everyone through my name displayed at all times. And that worked.
Well, that's
Because they
a
never
very important
anticipated
thing to
that.
keep in
There was
mind.
no reporting system. So, Nintendo, if you have someone who really wants to fuck with people and troll, they're gonna figure out how to do it. Take it from me.
Yeah, and also, let's a little side bit of congratulations to Nintendo for getting online play working on a fucking game that's like 35 years old and used to run on a TI-82 calculator. So congrats for that, Nintendo.
Yeah, right.
Truly a monumental
Yeah, cheers,
achievement.
Nintendo.
So,
Yeah, right. I'm trying to remember what year that was. I don't fucking know. But it was really
knows?
funny.
But early in the aughts, I think
Yeah.
probably is a safe bet. But anyway, so this post in the Nintendo Switch subreddit, and it basically is by this guy Sesto, and he goes down basically a timeline of his attempt to enjoy Splatoon 2, right? And
okay.
everybody
I'm interested.
buckle in because I'm going to read this because I just think I was both in tears and like fucking doubled over it with laughter at the same time reading this because it's just it's like you can't make this shit up. It's just so quintessentially Nintendo, and what I would imagine everyone imagines when they hear someone say, oh, let's play on some Nintendo game online. I feel like this exact ridiculously comedic scenario is whatever is in some form or another what most people would imagine when they think about playing Nintendo games online. So he goes, all right, this is a basic rundown of my attempt to enjoy Splatoon 2 today. Mid-afternoon, my friend asked if we can try out Salmon Run. I've never played this. I don't know what it is. It's obviously some...
Salmon Run?
Salmon Run, yeah.
What the fuck is that?
Some Splatoon 2 online game
Sounds
mode.
like what happens after you eat bad sushi.
Oh, God. We get into... Sorry, so we want to try out Salmon Run. We get into the game, and it's closed. We aren't allowed to play that mode until 8 p.m.
No.
Let's just take a step back for just a moment
Why?
here, okay? Already. What he's talking about, apparently this is something that people that are fans of Splatoon 2 are very aware of. As someone who has never played the Splatoon games, I'm not opposed to them, they don't appeal to me. As someone who's never played them, I have no idea about this shit. But apparently it's a thing in Splatoon 2 where certain multiplayer modes are time gated and they are only available between certain hours of certain days.
Is this like a league type thing, or is it a parental controls thing? Like, is it like,
I have
hey, this
no
is...
idea. But it seems like utter madness. Imagine you were trying to go on and play a deathmatch in Doom 2, and it said deathmatch is closed until 8 p.m.
Yeah.
Like, what? What? So so moving on, right? So instead, because Salmon Run is closed until 8 p.m., they play something called Turf War instead. Never in our hour of playtime did we end up on the same team. There is no way to play on the same team as your friend.
Absurd.
Teams are random. What? They're random? There's no way to play on the same team as your friend? What? I mean...
So stupid.
So not only
Like,
can you
join
not
a
have...
friend party.
No, not only can you not have a friends list, you need to use friend codes. But even if you are using a friend code, which is a ridiculously long string of digits and numbers and probably hexadecimals too, even if you do have it, teams are random. There's no way to play with someone who is your friend. So, as they're trying to struggle to do this, another friend decides to join. He tries to join our room, but before he loads into the room, it fills up. You aren't allowed to back out of lobbies, so we have to play the round, and he has to wait for us to finish before finally joining. You can't even... back out
Wait, hold
of
up. Can you hear me?
lobbies. Yes, I can. Yeah, they tried. Another friend tried to join, and before he was able to join the room fills up, and you're not allowed to back out of lobbies. So the only way that they could go back and have another opportunity for their a second friend to join was to play the round through, and he had to just sit there and wait for them to finish. Great. I mean,
So they have to all. How do they all get in a lobby to begin with together?
I guess I don't know exactly. I guess like you have to. I mean, I don't even think we should really try to say stuff specifically like that because neither of us have any fucking idea. So I'm just gonna keep reading through the post, right? So they're trying to play Turf War. They get bored of Turf War pretty fast, and the author says, "My friends ask if there are any other game modes we can play. A game mode called Rainmaker is happening, but it's ranked. You can't join a ranked game with your friends." Great. Very nice. We try to join a league match, but we find out you can only join as a team of 2 or 4. As 3 people, we can't play together. So our only choice is to go back to playing Turf War and wait until 8 p.m. when they can play Salmon Run. Wow.
That's such a nightmare.
Wow. Almost as if they don't want you actually using the service. So, and he continues, frustrated that we can't play on the same team, my friends leave. Imagine that. I see that Clam Blitz. Sorry. Clam Blitz is current.
Me?
Oh, God. All right, so he's...
Really sad I didn't come up with that.
I know, right? I'm surprised you didn't. I mean, God knows we both have performed several clam blitzes at many times in our fucking past. Okay. So he says, I can see that Clam Blitz is currently available to play in ranked. I've never played that mode, so I join a game. Before the game starts, the room is booted, and the game informs me that the game modes have changed. I can't play Clam Blitz anymore.
Wait, that's a game mode?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. All right. So,
Holy
all right.
shit.
To recap, for those of you who are distracted by the mention of a Clam Blitz, he's saying, yeah, maybe it was only Bobby. He's saying that after all this nonsense, the 2 friends he's trying to play with, they fucking leave. So after they leave, he notices that a game mode called Clam Blitz is currently available to play in ranked. He's never played it, so he tries to join it. But before he can join the game and before it starts, everyone in the room is booted, and the game informs him that game modes have changed. He no longer can play Clam Blitz.
Mean
it means
that game modes have
It means
changed?
Clam Blitz is no longer available as a mode to play. They just as like Salmon Run, you can only play it during certain times, I guess. That's how it sounds here. It's not, so this game mode is not available to play anymore. While he was in a room waiting to start a game in that mode, that game mode becomes unavailable, and the entire everyone in the room gets booted. He can't play Clam Blitz anymore. He can play Tower Control. So he continues. He says, so I play Tower Control. Connection unstable appears, and the game quits out. I check my Wi-Fi. Everything is fine. I join another game. 3 rounds later, the same thing happens. Connection unstable. The game quits. When I go back into the game, there's a giant crack in my rank. I don't know what that means. I guess it's something negative. That's frustrating, but I continue to play. An hour and a half goes by, and I'm very into Tower Control because I'm close to ranking up. I need one more win to up my rank. I'm waiting in the lobby when all of a sudden I get booted because the Splatfest starts. I go back to play ranked. There is no ranked mode now, only Splatfest. So essentially, what he was enjoying doing and grinding becomes unavailable again for some arbitrary reason. And he wants to go back to play the other mode. He can't. Only this other mode, Splatfest, is available. I can't play ranked. I can't play on the same team with my friends. I couldn't play Salmon Run when my friends were able to. I can't play League Play with only 3 of us, only groups of 2 or 4, not 3. The Splatfest makes it so that you can only play Turf War. I'm going to bed. what like, what I find amazing is not only is every attempt to enjoy this game in the manner that he wants to enjoy it essentially being thwarted for arbitrary reasons by Nintendo, but after this whole fucking, what sounds like a nightmare trying to play this, right? This is what Nintendo is currently offering for free. And come September, this amazing experience, which you've just listened to me fucking outline, is now behind a paywall. Not only is it so fucking awful, not only is it so fucking awful, but it won't even be free anymore in September. You have to pay for it.
Yeah, that's like their flagship online game.
Yeah. This is the best that they have to offer? This? And again, I'll remind everybody that, like, I've never played either of the Splatoon games. I don't know the specifics of exactly what a lot of this stuff means, but I still can fucking glean the intention from this whole fucking list here, and it basically sounds like he's being thwarted from enjoying the fucking game for no reason that I can see that's legitimate. I don't understand. So he goes after this whole timeline breakdown. He says, "We have another friend who is interested in the game, but after hearing about how difficult it's been for us to play together and all the bollocks with the Nintendo Switch app, he decided against buying the game. I don't blame him. It is very hard to convince friends or anyone to play Switch multiplayer." Like, take it from this fucking guy. Not only does, even if you've never tried to play it or tried to do any of this stuff and have only read about it online and, like, you know, Kotaku or wherever, it doesn't just sound bad. It really actually is this fucking bad. And he ends the post with, "Come September, we are supposed to pay for this kind of online experience? Count me out."
Yeah, I mean, they're going to have to really fix that. Like, that's just insane that they think that that's acceptable. Like who are you protecting?
I don't understand this kind of shit, dude. Like, you were able to very easily, I mean, I wasn't even a huge fan of fucking Halo and shit back when it dropped, you know, in 2001, 2002, whatever the fuck it was. But man, I remember very easily going, you know, friends' houses or whatever, and it would take a couple seconds and we'd be playing fucking Halo, either online or whatever. And this is almost decades later, and this is the kind of offering that Nintendo has for everybody. And it seems to think that there's nothing wrong with this. It defies fucking belief, dude. It defies belief.
Yeah, it's really fucking dumb. It's really dumb. I don't really understand what their malfunction is. Like, why are they doing this?
I don't think anybody ever will. And like, you know, there's not even that much to say about this. It's just, it's so cringe. It's so fucking embarrassing. And ultimately, it's just really, it's disappointing, man. And when you read a whole list of gripes like this and like read about people having experiences like this, it makes me think, well, no shit, Nintendo is being coy about details about this fucking service. Because if all they have to offer is more shit like this, man, I would be hesitant to tell people anything more about it too, you know?
Yeah, it's really stupid.
20 fuck that. 20 NES games, and they're 20 NES games, and they still are only telling us about fucking 10. And
I mean, the online service is just like, that's really garbage. If you can't add friends and join a game together as a team, what's the point? Why? They need to at least provide some answers as to why they're not providing this basic functionality that I really want to say, I mean, fuck, it was, well, any turn-based game, because the team selection used to be built into games like Half-Life, Team Battles, certainly Quake 3, you could choose which team you were on.
You always can. That's the whole fucking point. Remember we used to play Unreal Tournament at LAN parties back in the day?
Oh my god, of course, Unreal Tournament, you could pick your team. Absolutely.
I can't think of it would be more difficult to think of other games in which you cannot. I mean, and check this out. This is
pick your team. Yeah.
He added at the end. There's an edit to the post. He says, "I guess we still have more quirks to learn about." Man, this guy is way more understanding and seemingly level-headed than I would be in this situation. More quirks to learn about. Yeah, I guess fucking so. Jesus Christ. He quirks, putting it mildly. And he says another friend decided to give it a go. He had never played Splatfest before and chose the opposite team as me. Totally my fault. I should have warned him. God, this guy is very forgiving. And then it says you aren't allowed to change teams during a Splatfest. So we are stuck being on opposite teams. Cool, fine. I open the phone app, and create a room for Salmon Run instead. He tries to join it, but it won't let him. Looking back on it, I'm guessing it's because he hadn't played it before and the game wanted him to do the tutorial. All caps, fair enough, but at the time it was confusing. So he creates a Splatfest room thinking that even though we can't be on the same team, perhaps we could chat between rounds. Nope. Unable to join, you and the player who created the room are on different teams. At this point, it's been 15 minutes of messing around with the app/game and not being able to play with each other, so he quits. Are there ways around this? I'm sure. I mean, that's again being a little bit generous there. I wouldn't be so sure based on this fucking harrowing account so far. And then are they clearly labeled and made easy to figure out? Heck no. Jeez, this guy is polite to the point of irritation at this point. But yeah, so I mean, I don't want this whole episode to just degenerate into us talking shit about Nintendo again. But like, man, this is just fucking God. It's really disheartening, Nintendo. Like, what the fuck are you even doing?
This is their flagship online title right now.
This is their flagship online title.
How can you not join as a team? And what's up with the time gating? And there's no... All right, what I read was that, like, Salmon Rush has prizes or something, but, like, who fucking cares? Turn the prizes off, except you can be like, all right, 8 to 12 is when you can earn prizes, but you can play this mode all the time. Like, what are you doing? We bought this shit. Let us play it. Are you kidding me?
Like, this is embarrassing even as a free service. If they were paying me to deal with this, I would still have to fucking give it a second thought. Like, this just sounds like a goddamn nightmare. And like you keep reminding us, like this is their flagship online title. This is supposed to represent the best of what you have to fucking offer. And it sounds, dude, this sounds more complicated and unintuitive than trying to initiate a fucking deathmatch over a 14.4 modem in 1993.
Yeah, where it was seriously was like, pray, dude. When I would try to get Dwango working in fucking DOS. And it would actually, the program would load and I would get a connection and I'd be in a lobby and it still was all DOS based. It was like blue and creepy and I'd be like, oh my God, I'm in the fucking lobby right now. Can I make DOS recognize my modem? Yeah. Holy shit, Doom is loading. Oh my God, I'm in. Like that's how it seems. And that was like 1995, 6?
That's even being generous. That's being generous even. I mean, I guess Doom 2 came out in like 95, so... I mean,
I was definitely playing... Oh, you know what? Maybe it was Doom 2 that I was playing on Dwango. Doom 2, probably.
But, I mean, still, we're talking about, like... Dude, we managed to make that work using a fucking... using command line input.
Yeah.
And it worked. That was more reliable and definitely more enjoyable than how this fucking account sounds. Like, good fucking God. Like, ugh. Man, so Nintendo, just in closing, please, like, get it the fuck together. Like, we really want to give you our fucking money. All you need to do is just give us a reason to. Doesn't even have to be a great one. Just a decent fucking reason at this point. Like, for fuck's sake.
It doesn't. And this also brings me to my next concerns.
About
Resident Evil 7 cloud version.
Oh, man.
Is this going to be choppy and shitty? I just read on NintendoEverything.com that you can download Resident Evil 7 cloud version from the Japanese eShop, and it has English support.
Yeah, I actually watched a Game Explain YouTube video on it, and it's important to preface this by saying, like, this was played, I think he said he was in California, I'm not sure, but either way, this was something experienced by someone who was not in Japan. which is, basically trying to use the product not in the way that it was intended. It's only intended right now to be accessed by people in Japan. I mean, I guess that would have something to do with latency from servers and shit, but like, I don't know. I can't imagine how it would be that much.
If you stick a cucumber up your butt and the cucumber doesn't taste good, don't blame the cucumber. That's basically what we're suggesting.
Yeah, I mean, sure. Thank you, Bobby. God. Yeah, so anyway, I mean, he got through like the intro and he got like actual gameplay for like 10 seconds before it quit out and said, connection unstable, whatever. But in like just the little bits that he was playing, it looked pretty fucking playable. And I've seen videos posted on like Reddit and wherever from people actually playing in Japan saying it kind of works. And from my perspective, like, that's fine, that's great. But two things that I find more concerning. One is that, I don't know if you're aware of this, but you only get 2 years of access to it. You don't just like, I mean, I guess that kind of makes sense. They're not going to run the servers for an eternity, of course. But like, you get a pass for 2 years. That just seems a little, I don't know. I mean,
bro,
what?
Hold on. What I'm reading here is that right now it's for the Japanese version. It's 2,000 yen, which is about 1831, which gets you 180 days.
Yeah.
So 6 months.
Oh yeah, 2 years. What the fuck am I thinking? 6 months?
Six months for $18, which, I mean, so you're leasing it you're renting it for $3 a month.
I'm renting a cloud version of Resident Evil 7?
Renting a cloud version for $3 a month, which, I mean, look. Hey, look, okay, if that's what it takes to stream it, look, on the flip side, let's put it like this. What's Resident Evil 7 for PS4? Resident Evil 7 for PS4 is, this is all in Polish zloty, so this is not going to help me. Can I get an American price? For fuck's sake. Resident Evil 4 for PS4 is $23.69, and then you own it.
What?
Is that true? How was it $24? Didn't it come out like last year?
Yeah, like last February, January, I think.
Oh shit, this item ships to Poland. What do you know?
What do you know? Thanks
yeah. So.
Yeah, dude, you're right. I'm looking at it on Amazon right now. It's $24.
That's crazy. I'm really shocked by that
Oh
price.
my god,
okay,
it's fantastic too, dude. It feels just like Resident Evil 1. It is fucking awesome. Oh my god, is
so
it
cool.
fucking
I love
amazing.
that I still know nothing about it. I still have not seen a moment of gameplay, which I'm very excited about.
It is utterly phenomenal. Utterly phenomenal.
I intend to pick it up and play it start to finish the first time I get to experience it.
And I bet you won't do that on a fucking Nintendo Switch.
No, I won't. Dude, oh god, give me a fucking break.
My real problem with this, right, is that, like, all right, if you're willing to pay close to full retail price for a version of the game that you don't own and can only play over the internet for 6 months, if you're willing to do that, I mean, I guess fine, whatever. But the thing is that for everything that I've been hearing and from what I can tell, dude, they could very easily have gotten that game to actually run natively on the fucking Switch. I mean,
could they though?
Yes.
Could they?
Yes,
though?
they could have.
Because Doom
is
really,
dude. Doom, from what I hear, yeah, sure, it's in like 720p at 30 frames a second, but it's extremely playable and it's apparently fucking great. If they can get Doom 2016 to do that, I'm sure they can get RE7 to fucking run on it.
It is definitely down. What is the term for if they turn the resolution down?
It's just downscaled.
Yeah,
it doesn't sound right, but I feel like I know what you mean.
But whatever. The models, textures, everything are significantly low res compared to what I know it can be. There's no way it looks like that on PS4 or
what? You're talking about Doom now?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, of course
it
obviously
looks that garbaggio.
It doesn't look terrible, but it doesn't look like it does on a PC in 4K or running on a fucking PS4. No, of course not. But it does run. It is extremely playable, and it runs well, and it's still the whole fucking game, the full game. Portable or docked is still the full fucking game, and yeah, it doesn't look as great, but it's still the full fucking game. And if they could do that with Doom, I don't see any reason why they would not be able to do that with Resident Evil 7. But instead of doing that,
I wouldn't want it to look like fucking garbage, though. Doom, it doesn't matter because things are moving so fast that I got distracted from the fact that it looks pretty poor. I
think that saying that it looks pretty poor is a little unfair. I would not go that far. I would not go that far.
The graphics, I was looking at the graphics and I was like, and remember, this is coming from me, someone who rarely plays AAA titles and typically only plays games that are either like 2D or pixelated or like require the lowest system resources possible. So I'm basically like a clean palette. I'm a clean palette. But as soon as I started playing it, I was like, this looks low res and muddy. And I also noticed within 5 minutes, I noticed the fact that I was no longer noticing the fact that it looked like shit because the gameplay was so awesome. But the graphics did not wow me. The atmosphere was amazing. The way the game looked was amazing. The graphics on Switch, I was like, I was really not impressed. I mean, really, it looked like PS3 at best, like a low-rate PS3 title. Like Skyrim looks better.
I think you're a little off the rails here, just to be completely honest. I think you're being a little. I think you're being a little hard on the beef right now. To be completely honest, I think you are. But
I don't know. It was the first Switch title I kicked on. And look, I think Breath of the Wild looks way better than Doom.
Well, of course, it's a completely different art style, you know. It's like, which I think is probably intentional, you know.
Look, it's just like that's not.
But we're getting past the point a little bit. I'm saying is, put that like okay. I'm willing to concede that Doom does not look fantastic on the Switch, sure, but my point is that if they got Doom to run on it, they can get RE7 to run on it, and they didn't have to half-ass it by throwing a fucking cloud port on there that you only get to lease for 6 months.
Yeah, at almost the price of the PS1 or the PS version, and the Steam version is $29.99.
Yeah, like, so can you get the fuck out of here? I mean, come on.
1 year for 1 year, do you actually own any of these games? Well, no, you don't. In 2018, you don't actually own jack shit, but you own it more than you're buying. What they're calling it is you buy a ticket for this. Like, this is a way that they're supporting the server, but it's like you are having us subsidize the fact that you didn't put powerful enough hardware in there. But also, on the flip side, Switch costs less, and only gamers who want to play RE7 are going to be burdened with that cost. So if you don't want to play RE7 on Switch, you do not have to pay that extra money that it would have cost Switch just to run the games that you are not playing. So it's a very, very interesting and unique economic and technological decision. Now, the question is, will it run in US properly? Will it run seamlessly, or are they going to release a garbage product because people will flip the fuck out if it's so laggy they can't play?
Well, I mean, I can only say that if they do decide to release it in the US, I would imagine that it will run as well as it does in Japan. I mean,
well, all I'm hearing about is Americans playing it and it not running great.
Well, I mean, I did see a few posts on Reddit from people who are playing it in Japan saying that it's playable. I mean, that's not exactly a super high bar, but
really, that's the standard that we're letting Nintendo get away with.
It absolutely is not. But that's the whole point, is that they're fucking like, I don't know. You have to think about, as you said, it's a very interesting economic sort of choice on their part, right? And they're kind of subsidizing the cost through people who they're subsidizing the cost of it through the cheaper price of the Switch, et cetera, which again is interesting. But since we don't know how much it would have cost them to port it to the Switch, assuming that they could get a port running on the Switch natively, which I
don't think they could. Not anything close to the others.
Well, so
I'm sorry, go on.
Well, I mean, I'm saying if they could have gotten it to run on the Switch natively, would they have sold enough copies of it in order to make a profit? whereas it probably costs them next to nothing, literally, to make that 45 megabyte downloader for people. Basically, they just threw that shit on there. So any amount of money that they make off of it, the cloud version, is essentially a profit. So I mean, I guess that really ends the line of inquiry right there. There's your fucking answer. You know, it costs them nothing to throw that shit on there. So any amount of money that they make is a fucking profit. And in the end, that is always going to be a much safer business model than risking the development time and resources to make an actual port. So, I mean, whether or not you think that's shitty of them to fucking do, I mean, I guess that that's up to you, dear reader.
Yeah, I mean, it's all bad.
It's all bad. So
Yeah,
moving away from that shit.
Wait, yo, does Borderlands 2 on PC have split screen co-op?
I can't imagine that it. Why?
Because I don't know. You're a PC Master Racer.
No, I'm saying like why. Oh, I mean, I guess there's.
I'm checking because it's on mega sale right now.
I just feel like I don't imagine people, more than one person, sitting in front of a monitor on a desk to play.
Because my idea of creating a new PC environment is that my PC environment and my gaming environment are seamless and are one in the same. So to your casual observer, it's a normal entertainment environment. But if you want, you could fucking flip that shit, roll out a keyboard, and have a keyboard and mouse right there, and boom, you're sitting there and you're playing it as a PC. Or, you know, you fade back or whatever. I mean, I don't know.
I mean, I agree that it would be good. I used to play dude, I used to play Secret of Mana on an emulator, and like I would have someone else like one of my friends sitting next to me using a keyboard to control like the sprite or something, and I would be using a controller. I mean, so I've definitely done that. It's not that crazy. As far as I can tell, though, I found a post on Kotaku where they say that over on the official Gearbox forums, user Satan has posted a thorough step-by-step guide to playing the PC version in split screen. It involves installing software called Sandboxy Indie Volume, which costs money apparently, but you can try it for 2 weeks for free, and running the game in windowed mode. You also need 2 controllers for your PC that your PC recognizes naturally.
So no, that's not happening.
Yes. So the short answer is no, you cannot.
I bought a game on Steam. I bought Don't Starve Together to play with someone else a couple weeks ago. It's okay. The art style is great. It's like a Tim Burton movie, but it really is like, it hasn't really hooked me. And we switched over to Minecraft, which has just devoured our time. But I bought it for $14.99.
Yeah, Minecraft 2018, still fun.
3 weeks ago. Oh my God, it's still amazing. 9 years old. But fucking, the game dropped from $14.99 to $8.99, and I want that difference. Can you get a refund on that? Steam sales, purchasing, and billing. Price drops days after purchasing.
I'm sure they have things to address that contingency. I'm sure it happens.
Less than 2 hours played or less than 2 weeks since purchase. And you can get a refund. So where am I at on this?
Bobby Bow, nickel and diamond, motherfucking Valve, bitch.
Played 3 hours. Last played.
Wah.
No, I am fucked. I'm not going to go crazy on them over $6, but that's really annoying.
That's jealous of you.
It's really frustrating. So anyway, yeah. Well, fuck Borderlands 2. I don't know, dude. I mean, I find it hard to imagine that I could ever have. Like, I don't feel like I'll have the room for a separate computer station and gaming station. But at the same time, like, I also get really, really motion sick if I'm sitting in front of like a 55-inch TV right up close. Like when I was playing Far Cry
That's what I do. I mean, my computer monitor is essentially a 49-inch 4K
like
TV.
It doesn't affect, dude. I get motion sick sometimes when I was playing Call of Duty Zombies with my roommate, sitting 5-6 feet from the TV on split screen, and it was like, I don't know, I think it was a 55-inch TV. I would be getting motion sick.
I mean, I'm sure that's not completely uncommon. right? But at the
No,
same
it's
time,
not, for
unless you
sure.
have a monitor that big, you're not going to be stuffing two people sitting right in front of it. I mean, depending on, I don't know. You could definitely set up a gaming PC sort of like that, like in a living room. And, well, then you'd have to be dealing with wireless shit all over the place if you want to sit on a couch. I don't know.
Well, yeah, I mean, I would. You know, I'd want to have wireless controllers in general.
Sure.
Wireless controllers, kick it on a couch, do my thing, do your stuff.
Do your stuff. Take them,
But,
take them out.
Take them out, take them down. I don't fucking know. I mean, whatevs. Anyway, Borderlands 2, I'm not trying to pull some crazy ass Wango shit to make that work.
Which is what you'd have to do.
Right. So Borderlands 2 remains a fucking console purchase for the future, and it's great.
Totally worth it, though. Absolutely. There is even rumors that at E3 in a couple weeks, we're going to finally be seeing an unveil of Borderlands 3. Oh my god.
Was Borderlands the prequel, not Borderlands 3?
In name, no, it was not.
Well, I mean, obviously, but was it like?
I mean, what else? What more answer do you want?
Game?
It was a
completely different game.
It was a complete whole standalone fucking Borderlands game. Absolutely. I mean, it wasn't as good as Borderlands 2, but it was still fucking dope.
Why wasn't it good?
I don't know.
That's really, that's some service journalism right there.
I don't
Why wasn't
really
it
know.
good? I don't know.
Well, I'll tell you this: that when I first got the first Borderlands came out, I had a much sort of different living situation. My roommate at the time was also really, really super into fucking into Xbox, and I was still in art school at the time, so we had a lot of fucking time on our hands, and we also had a lot of Adderall on our hands, and we liked to do nothing more than to pop a bunch of Adderall, crank up Infected Mushroom, and sit there and play split screen fucking Borderlands until our eyes fell out the back of our head and our teeth turned to glass. And you know what? There are a few times in my life that I have had that much fun. I will tell you that.
Yeah,
but
that game is fucking amazing.
It's it's fucking amazing. But suffice it to say that after that was not my my living situation anymore. Like, yeah, I played Borderlands 2. I loved it, but it really just. What I'm saying is that, as most people probably know, is that the essence of what makes Borderlands fucking amazing is playing it fucking co-op. And sure, it's great playing it single player by yourself, whatever, but when you really get down to it, if you're not sitting on a fucking couch with one of your fucking boys, you know, blazing or doing whatever the fuck it is you do, and, you know, and burden through that fucking game, the experience just is not quite the same. So, I beat Borderlands 2 by myself, but at the time when the pre-sequel, I think they call it, when that shit came out, I wasn't up for it, and I never, whereas Borderlands 2 was good enough for me to get through it all the way, single player, the pre-sequel, for whatever reason, at least from my point of view, simply was not. So, that's my story.
Dude, I just switch gears real quick because just as I'm casually browsing while I'm listening to you, I just came across a game on Steam that's called Shower with Your Dad Simulator 2015. Do you still shower with your dad? It's an 8-bit style game. It has apparently a mini game called Match the Dad. And here's your options: towel off and lather up. There's a dad streak. If you mess up and you ruin your dad streak, it gives you an error that says wrong dad.
Your dad streak?
Yeah, your dad streak. You get a dad streak.
Is this is this the same game that was the subject of a lot of controversy semi-recently, like a couple months back? It definitely sounds as though it would not be out of place amidst a storm of controversy.
It was released almost 3 years ago. I mean, it looks like absolute garbage. So what do? You run up and have to. All it is quickly moving to touch the dad whose skin color matches your dad's skin color. That's it. And then you got the dad.
You got the dad. Well, it certainly seems as though there's nothing of redeeming value there to be had.
No, I don't understand how it has a very.
That's another official degreelessness review for you guys right there. So again, service journalism at its finest.
Why? Oh, dude. Okay, I need to get the fuck out. Shower with your dad simulator.
You're
Do
going
you still
down the
shower
rabbit
with
hole,
your
dude.
dad?
You're going down the rabbit hole. Pull
No,
back now.
I'm
Abort,
out.
dude.
I'm out.
Abort.
Oh, I'm already gone.
Okay.
I'm already way out of there.
So I want to. This is probably the worst segue ever in the history of the universe. But Borderlands 3. I'm wondering, one, they're probably obviously going to put it on like PS4 and shit. It stands to reason that they're going to optimize it for fucking the mid-gen refreshes and all that garbage. But is this the first of games that we're going to see that might be, as a term that Microsoft people have used, forward compatible with fucking new systems? And if it is, how soon are we going to be expecting those fucking new systems? That's really
Well, when
kind
did
of what I
PS4
want
and
to
Xbone come out? When did PS4 and Xbone come out, and when was the next gen, mid-gen refresh?
Well, that's basically a 2021 release for any new PlayStation would be 8 years after the 2013 launch of the PS4.
Are you fucking serious? PS4's been out for 5 years?
Yeah, dude.
What?
And the PS4 Pro launched in late 2016.
Oh my god.
So something that's I heard
so behind.
I know, it's insane. I think it was a Review Tech USA video I was watching on this. He was saying that, dude, if you were 10, right, and the Xbox 360 was your first fucking console, right? Now, in 2018, you'd be fucking 18 and getting a new fucking console. So that would have been, you would have gone from being a child, basically, basically a child, to being a young adult in the span of one console generation. That's fucking crazy.
It's really crazy.
So, what basically a lot of people are saying that this whole, I mean, I'm not going to call it controversy, but it was very recently, I think maybe even yesterday? Yeah, yesterday, Sony told Japanese investors that the PS4 is entering the end of its life cycle. So, and then Takashi Mochizuki from the Wall Street Journal, I guess, brought that up. And this has got everybody basically talking like, oh God, this means they're admitting the PS4 is on its way out. We're going to see a new one as soon as early 2019. So my question for you basically is, how early do you think we will legitimately see a whole new fucking console? And when we do, what is it going to need to do in order to justify, in your opinion, there being a whole new console generation?
Well, those are really good questions. My first question is, what was the release date of the PS3 and what was the release date of the PS4? Originals of both.
The PS4 was 2013.
All right, I'm going to need more science than that, so I'm off to the internet. All right, PS3. PS3. PS3 release date in US was October 2016.
Wait, what? You mean PS4? What did you say?
PS3. What? Oh, discontinued. Holy crap, PS3 is fully discontinued?
Yeah, dude.
Okay, so PS3 was released November 2006.
Okay.
Xbox, and so wait, was 360 the analog for PS3?
Yeah, dude, and that shit came out
November
while we were still working at
2005.
GameStop, dude. That came out while we were still
November
working at GameStop.
2005. Okay, and then PS4 came out November 15th, 2013. So 8 years apart.
Yeah, which is pretty standard. That's pretty standard for a console life cycle.
Well, PS1 came out in 2000. So that's 6 years and then 8 years. It was, and I believe PSX came out fucking, was it 2005? No, I'm sorry, 94. Oh, it was 94 in Japan, 95 in US. So really, let's say it was 5 years, 6 years, 8 years. So, I mean, so when are we going to see it? If it came out, PS4 came out in 2013, which is completely insane to me. Oh yeah, I remember how ugly that thing used to be.
Yeah.
That's so ugly. So, and PS4 Pro came out in late 2016. So, oh my God, there's so much garbage here. What about PS Now? Isn't that
What, the streaming service?
Yeah, isn't it like a specific like? It's hardware.
PS Now? No.
What's the other? There's hardware.
Are you talking about the PS Pro?
Is PS Pro the one that plays basically like PSP games, streams or whatever?
No.
Oh my God. How do I? All right, PS Pro. Let's just look that PS Pro.
PS Pro was the mid-gen refresh that launched in late 2016 that had just like slightly improved hardware.
PlayStation 4 Pro. All right, yeah, I don't know. It looks so stupid. Okay, no, there was something else, but anyway, yeah. So it was launched November 10th, 2016, so it's less than 2 years old.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's now been not even 5 years since the launch of PS3. So if
PS4,
it was
you mean?
PS4, right? So if it was 7 years, right?
Yeah.
Fuck. 5 years, 6 years, 7
Basically,
years.
anything from like about 6 to 8 years is considered normal for a console generation. So, I personally, I feel like 2019 is absurd. There's no way we're gonna see 2019 PS5 in 2019. Not a fucking.
No, because that
not
would
a
be
chance.
6 years. That doesn't make sense.
Not a chance.
It would
And
have to be
plus,
7
you would be
plus
burning
years.
down the people who just bought a PS4 Pro.
Right.
You
So,
know, it'd be ridiculous.
I mean, I would say maybe an E3 2019
reveal
announcement.
Yeah.
Announcement where you see the hardware and like 2 games.
Yeah, that seems
And-
kind of reasonable to me because we don't.
E3 2020 playable.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think what we don't want is another fucking situation. We don't want another 32X into Sega Saturn situation, basically. Where remember Sega basically sold everyone the 32X, being like, this is the fucking gaming of the future. This is what you want. This is the next step. This is, this is the new generation of fucking, of console hardware. This is the hot new shit. And then, like, right after that, they released a completely new system, the fucking Saturn. And people were fucking furious. A lot of people would say that that was the beginning of the end. The beginning of the death of the Dreamcast started there. A lot of people would say. So there's definitely a precedent for mid-gen refreshes going back as early as the 32X. Fucking gaming hardware companies. There definitely is a precedent for that. The thing. No, we all know that, like, of course, gaming hardware or just computing hardware in general gets incrementally better on a pretty measurable scale, right? So they have it's like the Zen 2 and then the Zen 3 architecture. I think AMD's using and stuff. But my whole thing is, one, I don't think that the new Xbox, the Xbox One X and the PS4 Pro, one, I don't think they were justified at all, really. And two, I don't think that a new console can be even slightly justified unless I think the minimum requirements for a full new console generation at this point have to be 4K 60 frames per second for absolutely everything. Would you agree with that?
No. Dude, I mean, it has to be 100% bare minimum 4K compatibility with all games, 60 frames per second. Needs to definitely have the sleekest, hottest controller. It's going to need to have streaming shit is going to have to be completely and utterly integrated. While streaming was integrated into PS4 and probably Xbone, I don't even know. It's going to have to be a major, major, major feature. Yes, there's a share button on the PS4 controller, but you need to really set that shit up to do it. Really set that shit up. There were a couple times when I clicked that button and was like, fuck it, I'll just stream this. And I remember being like, okay, it is not nearly as easy as just pressing the button and you're streaming. And it really needs to be that easy, where you could be a streamer then and there, and you plug a headset in or you have a headset connected, and all of a sudden you are talking and you are streaming then and there, and you have a channel. That would be a game changer in the climate right now. Who knows? I think streaming games and like that kind of shit, I do not feel that's a fad that's going to go away. I think that like streaming thing is so huge, especially with like young people, that it's only going to get it's here to stay. And it's just
dude, it's
bigger
pretty
and bigger and
doable
bigger.
on the PS4, at least for Twitch. I mean, you basically just boot the game up, hit share, broadcast gameplay, and then select Twitch, and you just have to link your account, but that's it.
Oh, I remember getting stopped, but I think I also was just like, all right, who fucking cares? Let me get back to playing. Because I was doing Spelunky runs, and I was like, as long as I'm doing Spelunky runs, I might as well stream this shit and let people watch it.
Yeah, I mean, you do have to connect a whole Twitch account and all that kind of stuff, but it is pretty doable, which is good. But, I mean, I think it goes without saying that we'll see stuff like that. Do you think that they'll get rid of the Blu-ray drive?
Oh my God, that's a great question. Will this be the first generation of hardware to completely get rid of physical media?
Well, I mean, I don't think they'll completely get, well, I mean, I don't know. The thing is that, like, do you think, is it more efficient to replace a Blu-ray disc with a SD card? I feel like I feel like in the end, it's more efficient in that an SD card can be read faster. They certainly are capable of being large enough so they have more storage than a Blu-ray disc. But it also, of course, is a lot more expensive to manufacture them. So would they recoup that cost by saving money in the construction of the system if they didn't include the Blu-ray drive? And if so, how much? I don't know, probably.
No, there's no way, because Blu-ray can hold up to 25 gigs per layer, with 50 gigs dual layer discs being the industry standard for video feature length discs.
And considering it probably costs a couple cents to make that, that's probably still going to be way more efficient.
Yeah, and Switch game cards are from 1 to 8 gigs in size, launched with 2 gigs. Apparently right now 32 gig. All right, 32 gig. Let me see what this says. Polygon says company originally planned to give developers up to 64 gig cards. Currently, largest size card available is 32 gigs. That's a significant difference from what Blu-ray discs can hold, which is up to 50 gigs. For context, Doom is a 25 gig download file. LA Noire is almost a 30 gig file. So Doom for PS4 or Xbox, well, I guess probably for both, is that. So you know that some of these bigger games with just that much data and shit, like, let me see, how big is Phantom Pain? How big download size is Phantom Pain?
I bet it's fucking huge.
What is the download size? It says it's 22 gig, 28 gig.
Seems like it takes up a lot fucking more than that on my goddamn PS4.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's
There's
also the storage thing that
also
pisses me off. I have only a 500 gigabyte PS4, but dude, I'm deleting shit fucking constantly. I have to have the disc, but I also have to fucking wait literally hours usually to install the whole fucking thing. And then once it's all installed, I still need to have the disc in order to even fucking start it. Yet, I mean, I don't understand. What is the fucking benefit? I need the disc, but I also need the fucking hard drive space. If that can somehow be eliminated by using SD cards, that seems like it would be a benefit. But I mean,
well, the discs suck, dude. And I'll tell you this: the PS4 that I had, the disk drive was fucked up, so I never ever played discs.
That's another good point, is that what is the first fucking thing to break in almost every single goddamn fucking... Yeah,
and I got
always the fucking disk drive.
Secondhand with a broken disk drive. So every single gaming experience I had on PS4 was all downloads. And the only time I really gave a fuck is because I had physical copies of The Evil Within and The Witcher, and I wanted to play them, and I would have to mess with the screws inside the thing if I wanted to hold the disc for more than 5 minutes, and I could make it happen. It wasn't 100% broken, but I was just like, fuck it, I don't even care.
I mean, so suffice to say, we wouldn't be sad to see fucking discs go, and there'd be a lot of benefits to doing it.
I'm saying holidays release 2020, optical media is gone.
Really?
Optical media gone, with the option to use some kind of physical media, whether that be, I mean, the only issue I have with micro SD is it's so small you can lose it. Like putting it in hardware, keep it on the hardware, great. You bring it to someone's house, you are losing that shit.
Oh, it's so easy to lose. Dude, I lost my copy of fucking Ocarina of Time for 3DS. Remember I used to have that shit? Totally fucking lost it. And that's about the same size as the SD cards that the Switch uses. But the main problem...
It's way bigger than a micro SD card.
Oh, it's enormous by comparison. But I think the main obstacle to getting rid of physical media completely is the fact that, like, sure, we used to live in Chicago. I live in LA now, right? We were lucky enough to live in places where there was, I mean, not necessarily always affordable, but always an option to get pretty fast fucking internet, right? I mean, that's something that I forget about a lot, is especially in the States, dude. It is not, if you don't live in a major city, it is not easy to get a reliable, fast internet. And until at least 90% of the country has access to very, very reliable and fast broadband, I don't think that they're going to be able to get rid of some sort of physical media. I just don't think it will be possible.
All right. I'm going to check. What?
So, I mean, I think most people are just going to want something as fast as possible. Sometimes I'll order a game digitally, simply because by doing that, that is the method that will allow me to play the game fastest. Sometimes I'll order it digitally, and then because it's taking too long to download, I will then still go out to a store, buy it, and then refund the digital fucking purchase. Whatever gets me the game and playing it faster, I will opt for. And I don't think you can rely on people always being able to get it by downloading it.
Yeah, no, you're right. The only data I have from Wikipedia is... All right, an April 2018 article from Motherboard said in every single state, a portion of the population doesn't have access to broadband.
Yeah, that's
Some have access to no internet at all. So apparently, we only have data up to 2015, 75% of the American population were internet users. And in 2012, only 28% had broadband.
Oh my
I feel
God.
that number has skyrocketed since then, but also maybe not, because motherfuckers, they need broadband if they got cell phone data, and like why are they browsing the internet on a computer if they've got a big ass phone? Like, I don't really see anybody being like, I need to go home and check my email on my computer. They're like, my phone is fine. Why would I need a computer?
I would say it's probably gone up a little bit, but I would not use the term
for sure. But I don't think it's like, I don't think there's like massive adoption.
Yeah,
I think if we check the adoption of smartphones with data plans, I bet that has gone through the fucking roof.
Oh, I'm sure that's the case. So, I mean, in short, I could see them coming up with an idea to ditch discs, but I really don't think so. Especially not, maybe 2022 might be a different story, but anything that comes out still in 2020, not a fucking chance. People's broadband's not going to be that good still, and they're not going to want to spend, for even if they would save money on the construction by ditching the disk drive, they're still not going to want to shell out the dough to pay for the fucking SD cards. You can fucking lose them. And think about it, dude. Even packing 2-3 discs in a fucking game is not completely unreasonable. I got Mass Effect 3 for the 360. That was 3 fucking discs. You know, how many RPGs did you have for the PlayStation 1, the PSX, that were like 3-4 fucking discs? Legend of Dragoon was easily 4 fucking discs. We had no problem with that. We're still not even at a point where games...
no problem. I would now.
I mean, I guess that is an interesting point, but I'm like, still, would you be that mad if you got a game for your PS5 that came with 2 Blu-rays? Probably not.
I would be mad if I had to buy a physical copy, period.
Okay.
For real. Dude, I have completely changed my mentality towards these things where now, I mean, you have to remember, this is coming from somebody who, for all intents and purposes, owns nothing but a suitcase and a half full of clothes that's sitting in this room. So
you are an extreme outlier. I mean, that's for sure. For sure. You know, my plan is to keep things as I want the option, at least. Like, if you want to buy a giant collector's edition and get your fucking, dildo mask or whatever, great. Enjoy the stickers. You're on your Tyler Durden shit. I get it.
Like, fuck it. But I mean, I'm happy to own the fucking game, but like, I want to be able to do it. So it's like, look, I get this shit on Steam. Getting these games on Steam that are on super sale means that at a later date, I could download them onto any computer. Is there a limit
To what?
how many devices you can have your Steam game on at once?
I don't think so. I don't use Steam that often, so I really don't know.
Like, I have this library, this functional library that moves with me that's based in the cloud, which is fucking awesome. And I don't have to worry about storing it. I don't have to worry about anything. Not only do I not have to have the physical space, I don't even need to have the disk space. I own these games, and they're not even downloaded. It's just like, whenever you want them, just pull it down, and then if you don't want it anymore, just fucking delete it, and you can download it when you want it again.
I mean,
Cool.
it is really awesome. I've lost count of the amount of different computers and shit that I have installed my Steam purchase of Half-Life 2 on. I mean,
it's crazy.
And I never have to think about it. It is nice that I never have to think about, like, oh man, I need to reinstall Half-Life 2. Where am I going? I always can just install the Steam client and just grab it. Same with Portal and a bunch of other shit I have on Steam. That is really nice. But again, that's way more of a PC master race type shit, and I don't think there's a correlation between that and people who would want to just be, console gamers,
I don't know. All right, so to move this to conclusion, I feel that we're going to see the next gen of PlayStation and Xbox in 2020, full 4K, full streaming, an emphasis. I do not think it'll be discs, period, because discs are like gone. If computers are now shipping with no discs, that shit is not going to ship with a disc. That's insane. If Macs have been shipping without optical media drives for what, 2 years now?
Oh, at least.
How long?
At least.
How long?
Probably more.
Do any Macs ship with optical drives anymore? My work computer doesn't have an optical drive, and I don't think I've ever once needed it, ever.
I mean, I'm looking at an article from 2012 saying Apple killed the disk drive, and it's for your own good.
Jump on while you're on, because I'm pouring a glass of wine. Jump on the Mac store real quick, and please see if optical drives come standard.
This is CNET, and here.
Any old Mac. I mean, do you have to buy the beefed up motherfucker to get this shit? Now, I'm talking about laptops, because ain't nobody buying a tower unless you're industry. There is no mom or high school kid or college student who is buying a tower. You are not even buying.
They don't even sell those anymore. The closest they sell is the Mac Pro, which is like a weird little black cylinder.
Oh right, that fucking thing.
Which it is really kind of cool. I mean, dude, I would love to have two of those and run run some DAW shit off those. Oh my god, it would fly. Yeah. And the new iMac Pro is also gorgeous, but
oh, I bet that's hot.
Oh my god, it's all space gray and shit. Oh, it's so good. Yeah, dude, I'm looking at even the most expensive MacBook Pro, and there's nowhere is there an option for a disk drive. What you have to do is buy, I think they call it a super drive on like a USB dongle if you want some shit, some ancient nonsense like that.
So none of them have disk drive.
No.
So I don't see a disk drive being a part of their plan. Now, also,
I feel like they gotta kill it at some point, kind of, right?
Internet in 2020, yes, I agree, and I feel internet in 2020, it's very feasible that you won't need that shit.
Yeah.
Like, I think 4K. Oh, this is Retina 5K. I think 4K display. That's a given. That's like 100% given. Better access to streaming. More robust online play. I mean, streaming is going to be huge. I think that.
You just think we're going to see more Twitch integration and shit?
Oh my god! Like the one button stream is going to be so key. I think Twitch integration, if not a direct partnership with Twitch or with YouTube, would be huge. I mean, they want to have their own services, but if they've already got that integration, it makes sense to have that to promote. I also think that they're going to really be pushing. I mean, online gaming is getting bigger and bigger. Things like Fortnite games. The Fortnite is on PS4 now. It is.
I'm sure.
But I have to imagine it's doing better on PC. I mean, it's on everything. I downloaded it and played it on fucking phone, and I mean, it was absolute garbage, as you'd imagine. But I tried it.
I mean, that's just the hot shit for the moment. I mean, you know, I think that like Minecraft and games like that, I mean, the battle royale type games are never going to completely go away, but I don't think the fad of them is going to last much longer than like another year, maybe 2 years max.
I mean, I think we're in for at least 2 more years of battle royale. I think the battle royale genre is just barely starting. As far as I'm concerned, we have seen 2 hit battle royale games, and that is ridiculous when they're so unbelievably popular. I think we're about to see the explosion of the battle royale genre, where everything battle royale, everything.
I mean,
is
they just announced that new Call. This is something I'm kind of pissed off about, and is that they announced Call of Duty Black Ops 4, which I guess there's like a new
COD Blops.
Yeah, new COD Blops, and they completely axed the single player campaign. Now, this, of course, I'm not gonna.
You'll miss it because I know how much you love COD Blops single player.
Well, oddly enough, I do. Yes, I do. This is not a popular opinion by any stretch of the imagination.
I didn't know you'd even played it.
Oh, dude. I'll get into it a little bit in a second. But like, not even for a moment am I gonna try to say that like, oh, why did they axe the single player? What the fuck? Obviously, they axed the fucking single player. Most 99.9% of people that play COD Blops or any sort of COD Battlefield, fucking whatever, they're playing that shit for the multiplayer. We all know that. It only makes sense to. I mean, and also the amount of development money that it probably costs to make a whole cinematic single player campaign like that's probably an enormous expenditure. So of course it was obviously worth it for them to fucking axe that nonsense. I'm sure they had their supercomputers crunching algorithms in the basement of fucking EA or whatever the fuck it is that told them all the kind of things that they needed to do, and I bet at the top of that fucking list was axing the fucking single player. So I'm sure that made complete and total sense. I'm not mad that they did. I'm disappointed, but I'm not mad, right? And of course, the big I think it's called blackout mode. It's very creative. Someone obviously, busted a couple brain cells coming up with that. But so that's like the new mode. Of course, that's battle royale and shit. But I would just like to take a moment to say that I know it's not a popular opinion, but once I got a really dope gaming PC a couple years ago, I was installing a bunch of FPSs. It's one of my favorite genres. I went and I started grabbing all the COD Blops games. And dude, especially, I guess it was probably Modern Warfare that really got me, but man, I really like the Call of Duty single player, especially the Black Ops 3. The single player was fucking garbage, but Black Ops 1 and Black Ops 2, the story was fucking awesome. I love the whole Modern Warfare fucking trilogy, and although almost everybody hated it, Infinite Warfare, I fucking loved it, dude. There was so many great space combat fucking levels where you could fly around a fucking fighter like a more modern version of TIE Fighter. It was fucking awesome.
What?
Yeah.
Was that the one with Spacey and press F to pay respects? Or is that Modern Warfare?
No, that's Advanced Warfare, which I still
press F to pay respects.
Yeah. I still liked, even though I feel like that was one of the worst ones of the modern Call of Duty single player campaigns. I still like that shit. And especially Infinite Warfare, dude. You would go from running around on the ground with your fucking with your boys or your robot pal, whoever the fuck it was, and in the middle of the mission you would hop into a fucking space like a space combat fighter and fly up and start fucking, dogfighting with other little fucking spaceships and shit. It was fucking awesome. And I mean, of course, people who are, diehard Call of Duty fans, obviously they fucking hated it, but I loved that shit. And I am sad to see stuff like that go in favor of just, oh, look, it's more Fortnite and PUBG, except in Call of Duty. Who fucking Ray? So that's my little...
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure you're gonna be crying and losing a lot of sleep over not being able to play COD Blops single player.
I mean, of course, that's all that. Yeah, obviously, I'm not going to. But it's just, I think it's fucking sad, and I alone, if I must, will mourn its fucking passing.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, all right. Well, I mean, like, I like some of it. Listen, when I was dating a young woman who had turned out, as you well know, I just happened to be absolutely fucking incredible at COD Blops 1 and 2 multiplayer. Like,
I remember that shit.
Topping the map, getting fucking attack dogs every 5 seconds, topping the fucking kill count every time. I dedicated myself one winter to get good enough to be topping the charts as well and be like, okay, I can at least be almost as good. She was still better, but I was almost as good. At that point, I really, really enjoyed it. And I have had many, many awesome times playing the zombies. The most, I guess it was it 3? Fuck, I don't even know which one it was that I was playing. I guess maybe COD Blops 3 with
I think it was
the
2.
zombies.
I think it was COD Blops 2. This was a long time ago, dude. This was a long time ago.
That was 1 and 2. I'm talking about with my roommate in Chicago.
Oh, yeah. Probably COD Blops 3.
We were playing COD Blops 3 zombies. So all really good. I mean, I just couldn't give a fuck about the single player other than press F to pay respects, which is incredible. Okay, so with that, night has fallen extremely hard here in Poland. The hedgehogs are probably out. There's fucking wild hedgehogs here, although I haven't seen one. Apparently, they hang out in the backyard here.
Are they aggressive?
One. No, I mean, they're probably super awesome and chill and just like eating earthworms and like banging and shit. I don't know.
I mean, yeah, I guess.
Getting high on rings and going fast.
I mean, that stands to reason, I suppose.
Fucking around with deformed foxes and shit.
But if the hedgehogs are out, I suppose that means it's time for us to call it a night.
Yeah, it's time for us to call it a night, and time for us to bid you all farewell. So, yeah, it's been an aggressive episode. There's a lot of we're at a very strange precipice for gaming culture in general. Nintendo has a lot.
Nintendo has a lot to answer for, in my opinion.
Nintendo has a lot to answer for, and at least they're innovating. Whereas PS4 and Xbone, really, they're sitting there like, what the fuck are we gonna do when PS3 and PS4 were so similar? What the fuck could we possibly do to make a PS5 worth purchasing? How are we gonna make
I think that they're still
shit?
really trying to figure that out because as the years go by, they're turning more and more into just a fucking a PC gaming rig stuffed into a smaller black box that you plug in your living room instead of a fucking bedroom or an office. Like, and how are they going to continue to fucking justify it? And I think at the minimum, they need to start with locked 60 frames a second 4K. And that's at minimum. Yeah. So it's truly a strange time in gaming. Nintendo, like, they're coming out with weird cardboard products, I guess, but they do have the Switch, which is fucking awesome. God, I pray that they get their shit together with their online service. So Nintendo's in one corner doing that, and in the other corner we have Sony and Microsoft, who I never thought I would say these words, but really looks like they're about to have a 32X / fucking Saturn situation on their fucking hands.
Careful. But on the flip side, the important thing that I want to mention is that while those situations are occurring, we really have never been at a time where there is even close to such a volume of incredible, affordable, accessible games made by really, really talented people who deserve your fucking money.
Yeah, that's 100% true.
Look at this shit with what's the blood game called?
Some bloodstained motherfucker of the evening or something.
Ritual of the Night and Bloodstained Curse of the Moon.
Egavania.
Like these motherfuckers, like, give them money.
And give us money too, give us money too. We deserve it also. Don't give us as much money as you would give someone like them who have like real serious talent, but definitely give us some of it,
No, yeah, flip some coin our way, so we can.
Or at least give us a like on fucking YouTube, sub on that shit, We're your fucking boys. We're your boys. We're here for you.
Keep up on misadventures. We are your boys, and we certainly want to hear from you. Anything you want to chat about, hit us up on Twitter at @degreelessness_, or just, get on YouTube or whatever.
Drop a comment in the fucking box. Send the fucking carrier pigeon,
signal,
a raven,
attack dogs.
Whatever you fucking need to do. But again, thank you so much if you've listened to this whole fucking episode from start to finish, and we'll be back with you next week with more fucking shenanigans and nonsense.
Cheers, salud, chin chin, na zdrowie.